Let's get to it. Hey, how are you guys? Thanks for joining the stream. This is going to be a very quick one because I have to actually get off fairly soon. So, I hope everybody is well. What's going on? Hey, I don't know. New York, it's Saturday night. What do you think of Vim and Emacs? If you like them, use them. California, hey Rob, how are you doing, man? I'm doing good. Why did I come on? I wanted to, let me show you this here. So this thing here, I don't know if you saw this, if any of you answered this. This is a question I asked almost yesterday, 22 hours ago. So I wanted to know what level coder was watching my video. So we got over 2,000 people voted, and about 81% are people who have some experience coding, from people who can build simple apps to pretty advanced. So I was wondering if you guys fall in the category, the 80%, with regards to if you're a coder or not, if you're an advanced coder or not. I'm just curious to see what you thought about that whole thing. I was surprised. Maybe I shouldn't. I never did a survey on that. I was just kind of curious to see who the audience is. The reason I'm asking is because I'm trying to decide what the content is going to be going forward. Should I do more basic stuff, continue along the same lines, maybe some more advanced stuff? I don't know. Coders news. Yeah, give me some feedback. Give me some feedback in the comments. Hey, from California, I'm doing good. Good. Jersey. The problem is, as long as I learn, I feel tempted to rewrite the whole code base of my apps. Yeah, that's common. In fact, you just got to get them. You got to be more concerned about getting your app working rather than purity of code. Yeah, you're high level if you can do that, that's for sure. Hello, dear dinosaurs. Yeah. Well, thanks for joining the stream. Bonjour. I hope everything is well. I'm happy to say I'm working on a Ruby project for work. Yeah, very cool. Hey, Stefan, I have a problem. I always clean and rewrite my programs, which lead to delays on deadlines. What should I do? You got to get them out good enough. It depends on how big the delays are. You know, what you do is you work on cleaning code that, you know, maybe clean the top 20% of your code and the stuff that's going to be critical. And if you feel that certain code is dirty, just leave a little comment in there. Say, this could be cleaned up, date that comment and say, I think it can be cleaned up in this way, and just save it for later. But you want to get projects out. How's it going, Stef? Good evening from New York. Hey, thanks for joining. Chicago, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Very cool. Hello, Stef. Currently developing a CRM, and I'm finding myself to rely a lot on Ajax calls. Is it bad to rely on Ajax calls for CRUD functionalities? I don't see why not. I can't think of anything bad off the top of my head, not having looked at your code. If you like this stream, give me a thumbs up. Andres, Saul, I probably said that wrong. My apologies. You are my idol, Steph. Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you. I bow down and praise you every night in prayer, my Lord, my Savior. Well, I appreciate that. Thanks. Talk about C++ and Java and how to unlock the most important part of your brain. Yeah, that's it. When you're learning how to code, you are literally rewiring your brain to think in a different way. So that's why there's a little resistance early on. Now, depending on your early childhood experiences, you may be more or less inclined towards software development and coding. So when you're writing C++ code, you're typically doing a different type of coding. You might be exercising a more hardcore part of the brain, if you will. Whereas if you're doing, React development or Swift development, it's not as hardcore. It all comes down to what kind of work you want to do in the end, Oh, by the way, you should check out the link below. We do have the Discord server. I set that up a couple days ago. We have almost 400 people who joined so far. I will be adding to it, refining it, and cleaning things up over time. But I highly recommend that you join. There's going to be some cool stuff in there. So we already have 400 people. Link is below the Discord server. Is it okay to learn basic program before I enter college? Yeah, for sure. Why not? The more you know, the better you are. I just got notified. What's going on? Just a quick impromptu stream. I'll be beginning off within 10-15 minutes. Already been on 8 minutes. Python versus Go. More jobs with Python. Let me get to super chat since we're limited for time. Thanks for chat, Guitar Jams. Hey, Stefan. So I'm working on a company, non-code, that works with another company looking for a software intern. They want a Pythoner, but I know JS. Should I just apply for intern and little experience? Yeah, apply. And just tell them when you apply that you feel confident you can pick up Python pretty quickly. It's not a big deal. And and maybe start poking around a little bit of Python on the side. And that's what I would do. Why not apply? Worst thing that can happen is they say no, and you are where you are. So no big deal. So do it. When did Mad Milkinsons become a coder? And I've heard that many times. Would like to know more about refactoring and continuous deployment. Well, there's a book below I highly recommend on refactoring. It's the seminal book. There's a Java version, there's a JavaScript version, but you can use them for whatever languages. Refactoring principles and techniques are universal across the languages. And so there you go. Continuous deployment. Depends on the type of projects, I suppose. I don't have much to say about that right now. What's up? What's up, Joseph? Have you seen Mr. Robot, the show? It's about a hacker. I thought you'd like. Yeah, I actually saw somebody mention it in the Discord. Link below to the Discord. You should join. Yeah, it's on Netflix. I might take a look. I haven't seen it yet. Do you take weekends off or code almost every day? I work. I'm an entrepreneur, so I work I might take Monday off. I might work Sunday. I might take Wednesday off and work Saturday. I don't know. It depends on the workload. Depends how I feel. I have that flexibility. I'm not an active coder anymore. I did it for years and years and years and years and years. I poke around once in a while, but I just manage things now. Code every day. Yeah, if you're learning, you should do a little bit of coding every day. It helps. Hi, Stefan. Can you rank the top 5 programming languages throughout your life from most used to least used? The most used was Java. There's no question. The most used was Java. And I'm not. What's the second? We're not talking about quality here. We're talking about what I use. So Java is by far, I've wrote so much more Java code. I think probably after that it would be JavaScript. Yeah, JavaScript. What would be after that? In terms of programming languages, believe it or not, a lot of VB script, because I was doing a lot of classic ASP, which was written pretty much in VB script. You could have done it in JScript, but everybody did it in VB script, which made sense because it was a Microsoft product. It would be Java number 1, JavaScript number 2, VB script number 3. And then I couldn't say. Then it was like a mix of other things. I've done a lot of PHP, touch of Ruby, even Perl, and some really weird stuff. A little action script, Lingo. I could go on FoxPro. It's all kinds of different things. C#. There's some C# as well. But there you go. What camera are you using here? You see the links below for my camera equipment. This is a Canon cinema camera. For a first-personal site, it's okay to implement branding rather than personal name. Why not? Well, sure. That's good. Also, does an LLC make sense as an absolute freelancer? That depends on which country you are in, Les Paul. But in Canada, it only makes sense to become an LLC once you make a certain amount of money where there's a tax advantage. In Canada, and it might be the same in your country, when you work as a self-employed, they call it travailleur autonome, and you're not an LLC, you are taxed like an individual. When you go and set up an LLC in Canada, there is a huge tax advantage in that. The downside, though, is when you do set up a separate incorporation LLC, etc. Whatever legal term that you want to apply to it, depending on what part of the world you live in. There's an extra cost in terms of accounting. You have to pay the accountants a lot more money to do the books for your LLC. So keep that in mind. So when you're first starting off, there's probably going to be no liability issues because it's web design. You're not running electricity for it through a house or something. And when you talk to a bookkeeper or an accountant in your country and find out when it makes sense to set up an LLC. I hope those principles help. Weekdays don't exist for entrepreneurs. Haha, you almost forgot them. Yeah, pretty much. It all becomes a blur over time. Hey man, can I get a job with those free CodeCamp certifications? They help a little bit, perhaps. I don't know how rigorous they are. Again, I have certifications as well, and they help a little bit. Schools use them, my Studioweb certifications. But I always tell people that the portfolio site, real world experience, where you do a couple of freelance jobs. You watch a couple of videos I did before on YouTube. I give you the 7 steps. There's literally an image of, there's the thumbnail is what says, there's a big 7 steps to getting a job. You should watch that video. It's going to answer all your questions. My only issue with Java is it's super robust, concentrated logic to the point it's kind of stupid, if you will. Yeah, it's very verbose. That's the problem with Java. I love Java, but it's verbose. And if I were building a new app, I would not use Java, even though I have very good feelings about Java, given how much work I've done it in the past. Yeah, I would be using a higher level language like a JavaScript, like a Python, like a PHP, if I was doing this stuff. Can you use Java to work microcontrollers? That I don't know. Java was at one point targeted for small devices, but I don't know if they kept up with that in terms of the JVM. Hey, Satara, how are you? Just before I go on, again, you look below, there's a link to the new Discord channel for this community. I set it up like 2 days ago. There's already almost 400 members already. So join up. There's lots of conversations going on already. And I'm going to be tweaking it and refining it. There'll be some good reasons to be there. Is it worth learning React Native and working as a freelancer? I'm not sure how many jobs you're going to get as a freelancer with React Native. I'm guessing, well, okay, not React. We're talking React Native. You would have to just go look at the market. For the freelance market, the web stack is king and queen. There's no question about it. So HTML5, CSS3, JavaScript. For the back end, maybe JS, maybe PHP. A lot of PHP because of WordPress, because of Drupal, Joomla, maybe some Python. There you go. But take a look at the job market. Again, I would, a lot of these questions can be answered if you go to my 7 steps video, which I think it's 2 videos before this one. You could watch that and get the answers there. Let me do a little shameless self-promotion here. Well, it'll be good for you guys too. So, I have my mentoring program here. If you want the full training with me, check it out. The link is below. You get access to everything, all my training, hundreds of lessons, my interactive training, private mentoring sessions, etc., job interview prep. You can go look it up, the link below. If you're a noob and you're learning how to code, you're not sure what language to specialize in, check out this particular free webinar, 29-minute video. It's going to teach you the differences between working as a C++ coder versus a JavaScript coder versus a Python coder. Understand the type of work you'll do, understand the type of places you'll likely work for. So check out that video. It's free. Just sign up and you get access to the immediate webinar. And if you want some high-level psychological training, communications training, want to learn how to learn more quickly, you should take this Lizard Wizard KOMODO training. I should add to that this week, actually. It's based on this course here, which you can, again, all the links are below. So here's Lizard Wizard is free, Career Paths is free, Mentoring is my most premium program, and I'm opening it up again for new people. I opened it up recently, so there you go. Enough of the shameless self-promotion. Let's get back to where we go. Bang. All right. Found it. Your description need a little more work to be more compact and readable. Too much empty space. Oh, you mean for the lizard wizard? Yeah, actually, I gotta throw that to the top, perhaps. I'm having an unrelated degree better for. Is having an unrelated degree better for employers, recruiters, than having no degree for self-taught in Canada? That's a good question. I think certain companies, just having a degree helps for certain companies, but that's diminishing. So to answer your question, for certain companies, yes. But real-world experience is much more important than anything else. Do years of experience matter in a job application? Yes, they do, of course. Hi, Stefan, MMA or Jiu-Jitsu? To be a more well-rounded fighter, MMA. To be a more well-rounded fighter. And I'm also thinking about your health. Like, you don't want to damage your body. I would lean to say Jiu-Jitsu is probably safer, but it has to be at a good school because you don't want some moron cranking your elbow or something. I always tell people, if you're doing Jiu-Jitsu, tap out quick. If you find that somebody's almost got you in the arm bar and you're here, don't fight it. Just say, okay. Because you don't want to get hyperextended because the damage could be lifelong and permanent. So tap out quick. You're not training to be a fighter when you're training. You're just training. So, you know. What were IDE text editors like in the 90s? In the late 90s, they got much better. Microsoft has always been king of IDEs. Visual Studio has always been really top-notch. JetBrains came out, I think, in the late 90s. They really changed the game with IntelliJ IDE. The IntelliJ, which is their Java IDE. So we also had Eclipse. They're pretty good. I was looking around. They're a little bit more refined now, but they were pretty good, especially Microsoft. They always did a good job with their code editors. Any discipline and motivation tips for people trying to study coding every day? Yeah, just, again, link below. Go to Lizard Wizard. This is psychology training. It's going to help you learn much more quickly. It's going to help you with all that. I want to learn how to make passwords and accounts of users in my app more secure. Where should I start? Thanks, Stefan. Well, you can find libraries that allow you to auto-generate long passwords. So you just have to create stiff rules in your authentication layer such that they can enter in super simple passwords. That's it. You want to force that they have to write in long strings with different characters, different cases, different symbols. So it's pretty simple. You know, just look up on the web, find an article on, what's a secure password, and you'll find examples. They're just long strings with different cases and funny symbols. And then there's parts for that in your authentication. That's all. I hope that helps. So to make it easy for them, you could actually even have a password generator, boop, random string and so forth. C++ should be in the first page of the Constitution. I am in America. What should I learn? I am a computer science major. Well, what I would do, Luminate 22, what I would do is to get your foundations. Again, 2 videos ago, I did the 7 rules, and I talk about that. You want to get your foundations first. And the reason you want to get your foundations is so that you can have the nerd eyes, the ability to judge between the different languages and the different stacks, the different types of programming. And this way, you're going to be able to make a better assessment in terms of the type of programming that you're going to want to do. A lot of it comes down to taste. Also, again, link below. Watch my 29-minute webinar video. It will really help you to understand what it's like to program as a C++ developer, what's it like to program as a JavaScript developer, what's it like to program as a PHP developer, etc. And then you can make a better choice there. Hey, Paul, started your full stack course, loving it. Loving Stefan. All right, cool. Thanks, Paul. Thanks for letting me know. I'm glad you like it. C language or Java? Again, they're both good. Depends on what type of work you want to do. Pick one. and then work with it, and then take it from there. Hey, Stefan, is WordPress still worth it for freelancing? WordPress is probably king for freelancing. When you're starting out as a freelancer, the king of freelancing is the web stack, so HTML5, CSS3, a touch of JavaScript and PHP. Then it's like WordPress, and then it may be even working with different array of tools, whether it be Wix or Drupal or Joomla. There could be other CMSs you could look at as well. I should do a video on that, the modern day web, freelance web professional. It's kind of a disparate set of skills. So I found, like I did a live video a while back where I went on Indeed.com, that job site, and I found listings for Wix developers, believe it or not. And starting salaries were like $60K, which surprised me, but it doesn't surprise me because even though Wix is drag and drop and stuff, to organize it all and to know what are better choices and how to position things, it still requires some skill. And a lot of people just don't have it. By the way, if you like the stream, do give it a thumbs up. I'd appreciate that. Thumbs up are always appreciated by the Google algorithm. And by the way, I did set up that Discord server that everybody was asking about. So there you go. How are we doing for time? All right, I'm going to have to move it out. MMA greater than Jiu-Jitsu, but BJJ alone is great. Yeah, that's reasonable. Good morning, Ancient Baba. How are you? I appreciate that, Shafiq. What belt are you in Jiu-Jitsu? I am not a Jiu-Jitsu practitioner. I did a lot of judo, and I did freestyle wrestling, and I trained in an MMA gym, but I'm not a Jiu-Jitsu guy. My submission game is really not too good. I can do very basic submissions, but my submission game is hard to take me down, though. I have very good takedown defense because I trained with the Canadian wrestling team. I wasn't a member, but I trained with them. Well, today, I think a white kitten can take me down today. But back in the day, I would train against guys who were first, second in the world in their division, and I couldn't take them down, no chance. But they had a hard time taking me down. It's easy to take down is easy, right? You just got to know how to sprawl and have good sense of balance. But yeah, my submission game, not too good. Not too good. The king of submissions is Jiu-Jitsu, of course. But I do have a black belt in another style. Hello, what are your thoughts on blockchain? Do you have to become a front-end developer before learning blockchain? No, you don't. You can jump right to blockchain right away if you like. I would look around at the job opportunities and so forth. But, yeah. Oh, I think you were talking to Guitar Jams. Yeah, oh, there you go. It's not bad. Blue's pretty good. How do you stay sane, answering the same questions all the time? That's why I'm putting out videos. In my Discord, I'm going to be putting out videos. I'm going to be setting up a section, I think, a channel, top 10 most asked questions, and I'll put the videos in there. And whenever somebody asks, I say, go to the Discord, get those videos. I think that's what I'm going to do. What do you think? Firebase versus SQL database. I'm learning React, and my app is with React, thinking Firebase will be good, but I'm good at SQL. Depends on the database type. So if I can answer frequently enough, that's okay. Yeah, Firebase. Yeah, basically, when you want to choose between an SQL database and a non-SQL database, with the SQL database, you store data that has a lot of relationships. If you have a lot of relationships to store, then you use an SQL database. If it's not a lot of relationships, then you use a NoSQL database. That's my general rule about that. But I default to SQL databases as a matter of habit almost. Hey man, can I intern you for free from California? I'm a computer science major. I'll keep that in mind. I'm not sure what's going on. It's we got through a lot of development in the last year, But I'll make announcements. I'm looking for interns. Oh, by the way, you just reminded me. So I'm getting approached by more and more companies, and they want me to promote their job posting. So I was wondering what you guys thought about that. I did a poll. I don't know if any of you answered that, but I'm thinking of doing that. I'm thinking, I'll be honest. If I do put up job listings, they want to pay me for that. So I don't know. And so I think I might be doing that. See what you guys think. So I don't know how often it would be. I don't know it's how much time I'll have. But I'm thinking about posting jobs. I did one a couple of weeks ago for a friend of mine out of California. So I might be doing that. Good morning from Java Island, Indonesia. How are you, man? Learn the trifecta. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Wow, 5 a.m. Welcome, Mark. How are you? I get difficult problem with Windows Clipboard API. Apply to World Office. Maybe I cannot complete my task. What will I say to my boss? I'm very worried. Well, I would keep trying it and log your hours and identify the errors. So if you go see your boss having not completed, show him the errors that you're running into and show him what you tried and what you attempted to do to solve it. So I say, I had this error and this error. I went to Stack Overflow. I couldn't get an answer for it. So if you can show him a digital trail, or her, a digital trail of what it is you were trying to do and what roadblocks you hit, that will at least show him clearly that you made attempts. There you go. Lizard Wizard is a great course. I'm taking it now. Very cool. I'm glad you like it, Taz. Yeah. I think I'm pushing it. Several people who took the Lizard Wizard course suggested that it would have helped them to learn much more quickly. And so I am pushing it forward. I'm going to put Lizard Wizard as the first course you should take from me. I appreciate that. Stefan knows the armbar roll escape for sure. Well said. Yeah. Well, that's kind of basic, right? Hold on. Sorry. Greetings to my favorite Montrealer, Jeff. What's your advice about programming single board microcontrollers, Python? And well, talk to Jeff about that. I have not programmed single board microcontrollers in Python. How are we doing for time here? Okay. Hi, it's Stefan Mission. What is the best time to go to the gym and have a workout? Is it before work or after work? And, it depends on you. That depends on you. I would always do it in the evening. Typically martial arts, we did it in the afternoon or the evening, typically. But I know some people like going early in the morning. They feel fresh. So what I would do? I would do 2 weeks of morning workout, see how you feel, and then do 2 weeks of evening after work and see how you feel. I haven't used it, but it's Google, so you might as well work with it, see how that goes, All right. Okay, guys, I said I would make it a short one. I'll end with a light. I just trying to learn code yesterday. Well, Liam, you should take my code courses, try it out. I think you'll be in good position with that. So I'll write the PHP script to automate the job posting process for you. And I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm not sure how I'm going to handle that. So I just want to get your comments about that. So I might be taking on more job postings on the stream since there's a bunch of you. And it will give you opportunities to maybe find jobs. So we'll see how that goes. Well, welcome to the coding world, Mr. Liam. Just keep working a little bit every day. You'll be fine. Do you recommend learning SQL and Tableau before becoming a software developer? I would start with code first, coding software, and then learn SQL if you want to. It's just that when you write code and you're building apps, you have a lot more flexibility in terms of job opportunities. It is good for Java is good for 2021 if you want to go work for a very large organization. That's pretty much it. For Android, I would go to Kotlin. Yeah, so there you go. Tell us a nerd joke. I have no nerd jokes right now. Do you have any origins from Balkan Europe? Stefan is a typical Serbian name. I'm just wondering. Ukrainian. The family is originally from Kiev. There we go. All right, this is the last question because I got to head out. Stefan, I really enjoy your videos and tips. What advice can you give me, a baby coder trying to get a job and hone my code? Thank you. So you look in my YouTube, I think 2 videos before, this thumbnail is a big 7. And you'll see the answer there. I did a whole video on how to go from baby coder to getting a job in detail, step by step, and it'll be very useful. Okay. All right, I appreciate that. All right, guys. So I have to let you go. Again, join the discussion. Go to the Discord channel. It's open. It's there. It's only a couple days old. I think there's nearly 400 people there. It's like 375 people last time I checked. So yeah, check it out. Link below. Check out the Discord. Thanks for the thumbs ups, guys. I appreciate it. I got to head out. Some people are waiting for me as we speak. We'll talk soon.